Hello, everybody. This is Cheryl Abram, and Person-Centered Cyber is back. Okay. And per usual, I have questions. Okay. So I've been reading about, I've been dissecting, looking at this SolarWinds issue. I said I was going to come back and talk about it. And now I'm back and I'm going to talk about it. All right. So the other day, what I did was I sat down with a couple articles regarding it. Okay, from various people, like SolarWinds put some stuff out. I think Microsoft came out with something recently. So I got my whiteboard over here, just read through the whole thing, read through a couple of them, and just tried to figure out what the hell happened. Okay. So I wrote down some stuff. And there are two parts, there are two areas where I saw some stuff going down. Okay, I'm gonna try to control my language because I'm gonna try. Okay. So the first thing is all the stuff that went down while the software was being developed. Okay. So I guess that the third party people, whoever were developing the thing for SolarWinds, or redeveloping it, updating it, whatever. But what I read was that the code, the malicious code backdoor, the backdoor, okay, it was digitally signed, which was one of the reasons why I read they figured it was compromised while in the software development process. Okay, that it was digitally signed. Also, they used empty classes. Now, I don't know what an empty class is. Hey, Professor Black Ops, how are you? I'm not sure what an empty class is. If you know, please let me know. I looked it up, I couldn't find nothing. But some kind of way they use empty classes, whatever that is, to test it, to be sure it would work once it went into production. Okay. Also, they injected the code into a DLL library, which is a dynamic link library. Okay, and so it would run as like a parallel thread when there was I guess like a system call for this DLL file. Okay. So now all this is, all these things are happening I assume, from what I understand of the process before, it got to SolarWinds so that they can start to sell it to all the thousands of people they sold it to, of organizations. I read that NATO was one of the organizations, NATO, and like some other ones. So that's the first part. Okay. Now, the second part, okay, which is just as fascinating, is that now I'm an organization, I'm NATO, okay, I've just bought the SolarWinds Orion so that it can, help me manage my network. I can see all the stuff going on and all that, okay, which is what I need to do, okay. So I purchase it, I load it. Now, of course, I'm going to test it in like a sandbox or some other space that's not production, before I put it on my live network. So from what I read, this code that they created would actually run tests to see if it was in a sandbox or if it was on an actual network. And if the tests suggested that it was not on a real network, it wouldn't do anything. Like it would just stay, just sleep, just look, looking around, trying to see when it got to an actual. I thought that was how the hell does that happen? How does it do that? That was fascinating, isn't it? And then I'm reading all of these people, talking about how, it never got on our network because we tested it first or whatever. And I'm like, from what I read, it was able to detect whether or not it was on a real network. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read. Okay. So that's number one. All right. It ran checks. Professor Black Ops, it had his own stigs. Okay. It ran stigs before to find out. Okay. And then once it was like, okay, are we on a real network? You know, can we, okay, this is it. This is it. Let's go. So once it was actually on the network, it would pull a subdomain generated from whatever, you know, whatever the company was to make it look like it was that. This thing was like, I don't know, they clearly did some planning for this. And I was talking to somebody about it, right? I know you love Stigs. Professor Black Ops, did you see the Cyber Tracker Live? Have you seen that? If I think about it before I get off here, I'm gonna go there. It's the same thing, Professor Black Ops. I'm gonna show you. It's Cyber Tracker Live. I forgot who did it, but they gave a presentation about it at my job the other day. It's pretty cool. You know, it contains all the stuff that the STIGs and the SCAPs and all that. Okay, but back to this thing right here. So here are my questions, and I have questions because I don't understand like this whole, like from soup to nuts. Like I don't, you know, all the ins and outs of these the processes, you know. So my first question, okay, is during the software development process. Now, from what I read, SolarWinds put their stamp of approval on this thing. They digitally signed it and certified and said, okay, you can trust this. Okay, how does that happen? How does that happen? And I'm trying to figure out, like, I got some malicious code in here, but whatever checks we have in place wasn't able to find it. Now, I did go to a website that was explaining how individuals are able to inject code into a DLL without being detected. And it showed a screenshot of the thing without it and the thing with it, and how both passed digitally signed, you know, and all that. So I see that is possible, but I'm just trying to figure out, okay, how and what's the fix? What's the STIG, Professor Black Ops? Okay, how can I, even if I don't prevent it, how can I discover that y'all up to some F-ish up in this file before it gets, you know, to my customers or on my live network? You know, I haven't found that. That's what I need to know. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about 0 day. Okay. So that's one of my questions. How in the world do I give my stamp of approval on some F-ish? Okay, that's the question. Now the next one, how is the code able to not be detected in a sandbox? Like, what's happening in it so that it can just, first of all, run its own checks? Because everything that happens on a network, like on a computer, it takes power to do that, right? It takes energy and electricity. I mean, something's happened. It takes CPU power, all that. I don't understand how that works. Okay, how is it able to just sit there and run checks and just not do anything? Like, we can't see the checks? I guess not. These are questions now. I'm just asking questions. Okay. And yeah, I mean, and the other stuff about, you know, it's been in there a while, and it takes, you know, like they did from what I read, they did a superb job of really, first of all, hiding that they were there. And then if found, like if seen out in the open, you know, you think they were just part of the crowd, because the naming convention was the same, like, well, very, very similar. You know, all of that stuff was just so similar. It's like a damn what do you call them things? What do you call a twin? That's like your evil twin, a doppelganger. I think that's what it's called. Like you got a whole doppelganger up in your system, you know, just looking like everybody else. And I was trying to think of an instance like a real life, like in, you know, outside the digital world. And that kind of stuff, I guess, happens, you know, during espionage. I read somewhere that they said whoever these people were who created it, they were very good at, what did they call it? I think they called it operational security. Like being able to do a little bit here, do a little bit of stuff there, but not so much that people take notice. However, if somebody starts to put things together, then they can figure out something's going on over here. Okay, but I guess we weren't able to do that soon enough before something actually did happen. But they were apparently really good at that, really good at operational security, which means we got some work to do. We have work to do. I have been spending a lot of time looking up threat hunting, okay, because that's going to be one of the things I talk about at the big conference that y'all are going to be at, okay, in February. Okay, so I've been looking up a lot about that threat hunting. Y'all already know how I feel about this blue team, red team stuff. You know, I feel like all that needs to be together. Okay, if you're learning offensive, you need to be learning defensive at the same time. At the same time. Okay, and I was just telling somebody yesterday, the rigor of red team pen testing, training and tests and stuff is so much more robust than blue team, which makes no sense. Okay, if I'm in security, why is the test to break into your house more rigorous than the one to protect it? That don't make no sense. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. That makes no sense at all. All right. Yeah, so those are my questions about this SolarWinds thing, and I'm still looking it up because I want to use some of this stuff as an example when I go into it. So again, the first thing, right, is the trust. That digital signature right there makes me put my guard down. It makes me put my guard down. If I'm, you know, it's like a fake ID. If I see you give me a fake ID and I see all the stuff that's normally on an ID, you know, my and you look like the picture, like why am I going to, you know, like what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm probably just going to let you through, you know. So what I'm trying to figure out, like, what can in real life, okay, how would you know? How would you know if something has to be different? Something got to be suspicious. Something. I don't know. I got to think about that. I have to think about that, and I need to talk to somebody who does software development so I can get some answers. You said FireEye found the movement in their network. Yeah, I thought that I didn't know that FireEye was a customer of SolarWinds. Like I thought it was their product, you know, their thing that they'd done. I didn't know they were a customer. And then SolarWinds came, and I'm wondering, like, if SolarWinds would have come out, if FireEye wouldn't have said something, because y'all, you know how they be trying to keep that stuff secret. You know, I didn't have a story to tell whenever. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know. But oh, let me tell you this other thing too before I get to the 0-day stuff. It went out for another payload. It should have been found at that time. It should have been found at that time. But that's my question though. Like, was it? And no one just said anything, you know, to the public, trying to maybe possibly fix it, you know, or do whatever, find out more information before they went out and said something. I don't know. But I know some people have rules about that. So I think California has some of the strictest about if you see something, say something, you know, don't wait 6 months down the line. You know what I mean? But But let me go over real quick the new CYSA. Okay, I've been looking at that. SolarWinds would not have come out. That's what I thought. Seriously, that's the exact thing I said, Professor Black Ops. I said they probably wouldn't have said anything if FireEye wouldn't have said something. And you know what? So I was looking at what is this channel? This channel, it's, oh my God, it's so good. It's called I think it's called Computer File, PHILE. I believe it's called Computer File. But the guy on there was talking about how NAT works, network address translation, somehow how that works with the routers and, you know, the stuff behind the router and the ISPs and all that stuff. Now he said that NAT actually, I mean, NAT's basically a hack is what he said, okay? But he also said, wanted to shout to FireEye. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that, Professor Black Ops. But the guy said that NAT makes it difficult to know what's on your network too. Because it's like you have to mask, on the way out, you gotta mask what's behind the router and get there, and it has to be retranslated and masked again on the way back. It was a whole thing. Okay, it was a whole thing. And he was like, that makes it difficult to know what's on your network too. And what I'm seeing also is like, yeah, so yeah, you're right. Most people don't know what's on their network. Okay, but CYSA, let me these topics. So I've been looking at the new CISA, and I have to admit, look, so when I talked to y'all some months ago about the interest-based learning, I talked about CISA and adding other topics to it because it didn't address enough things, in my opinion. Well, they added some stuff to it. Have y'all seen it? And I think it's great. I mean, it's not, they could certainly do more, but I think, you know, what they've added is really good. And it's really in line with all of this stuff that's been happening too. Let me see what those topics are real quick. They added, I believe, two new categories. So the first category is threat and vulnerability management. Remember on the last one, it was separate. Threat and vulnerability were separate topics. Now they're together. They have compliance and assessment, okay, which I believe is new. Software and system security they have on there, okay, and the software development lifecycle process. And they're talking about, and I heard this I've been hearing this with this other guy that I listened to about doing threat modeling, like in the software development lifecycle, like right there. Okay, and I'm not sure, I don't know what that would look like. I need to look at more videos about that. But he's talking about doing threat modeling at that point, as well as, so not just after I get the software and I'm gonna do some threat modeling, no. Upstream, while y'all putting that stuff together, you know, you need to be up there looking for things and doing whatever needs to be done. And the other one is security operations and monitoring and incident response, okay, on the new system. So I have some projects that I want to work on regarding that. Oh, they got a lot of Linux in there too, a lot more Linux. And Mac, all the Mac OS questions on the CISA. I didn't know what that, I don't have no Mac. I don't know what their files are called and all that stuff. You know, so if you're taking the new CISA, you don't have a Mac, you don't have to get one, but you gotta, I mean, definitely, you know, learn about what that looks like, what that stuff looks like. Professor Black Ops, you said NAT sort of, all that traffic started from your internal network. Yeah, so zero trust, yes. I know an organization that's looking to move to zero trust. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Agile is a little weak on security, focus on features and money, okay? Okay, so, all right, so that was the CISA, right? Those are the new things on this, and I'll talk about more of that later and show y'all some of the projects that I'm coming up for that. Now, let me show you this. Y'all, I know y'all all know about bug bounty. HackerOne. Is it HackerOne? They're one of the big bug bounty people. If you have not been to their website, these people, so first of all, they, I talked about on this channel, I read a report, their most recent report that they did, okay, about all the bug bounty hunting that they're doing and the results and all the different kind of vulnerabilities and all that. Super interesting, okay? But you gotta go to this website because the bug bounty hunters, they have to create reports, okay, when they find something. And they put it right here on the website. Those reports are so interesting. Okay, you got to see those reports. I mean, come on, you know, and they're just very good. They're very, very good, and they talk about how they found them and where they found them, and I mean, it's just really good. So this website right here is like that, but it's not. But they only pay for 0-day vulnerabilities that you find. Okay. Now, and my question. Pull this up. I can't do two things at once. Okay, so this is it. It's called 0-Day Initiative. All right. Now, what I want to know is, and I talked to somebody about this the other day, security people, all you blue teamers out there, purple teamers, okay, y'all can find these the 0 days as well, can't you? Okay, I hope so. You know, I feel like we can find this kind of stuff too. You know, you don't have to be a red hat or whatever the hell to find these things. All you need is some critical thinking skills, you know, and to know what this stuff is and to find a vulnerability. So, okay. So this is the site right here. It tells you the severity level, the CVSS score. What is this? They have an ID, who the vendor is that was affected. Oh Lord, look at SolarWinds right here. Harrison Neal. What is this? 6 days ago. Can I click on this? I don't think I can. Okay, I can't click on it. But yeah, so these are all 0 days that these people have found. And they got their names. Some of them have their names. Look at our guide right here. Adobe, who else is on here? Foxit, Autodesk, Linux has one right here. Yeah, so if you go to this website, you can just see what's on here. What else is there? Oh, here are some published ones. Those are upcoming. These ones are published in 2021. Affected vendors, Schneider Electric. Microsoft always on these damn lists. People, Microsoft can't get a break. They cannot get a break. Oracle, always on these lists too. Delta Industrial, I don't know what that is. Is that Delta Airlines? I hope not, child. Siemens, okay. Netgear, Apple. So let me see, can I click on these? I can click on these. Okay, let me see what Microsoft got going on over here. Privilege escalation vulnerability. Oh, okay, it's out there now. Now, I'm not sure how the pay structure works. I don't know if Microsoft pays them or these people pay them. I don't know. But I thought it was just interesting that they only take 0-day vulnerabilities. Okay. Allows local attackers to escalate privileges on affected installations of Microsoft Windows. Now, I've been reading about those DLL, the DLL files, those libraries. So first of all, they're very convenient. They seem like they're very convenient, you know, and they allow everything I'm seeing, this stuff I'm seeing on my screen right now, all the like the things I can type stuff into is because of these DLL, you know, libraries and things like that. So the convenience and the ease of creating, you know, creating software faster and, you know, and all that is awesome. Okay. But apparently with convenience comes, you know, these horrible vulnerabilities. Vulnerability reported to vendor, January 5th, public release was on the 21st. Okay, so go ahead and go to this website, y'all. They got some really good stuff here. And if you are inclined to, if you have the skills to be able to find this kind of stuff, then get in there and find something. Same for the bug bounty. Same for bug bounty. Okay, if you have those skills, and you should, okay, with all this think like a hacker crap that folks be talking about, okay, you should have these skills, if you're a blue teamer, to be able to find and do the same kinds of things they do. Otherwise, what the hell is all this ethical hacking for? And then not just find this stuff, but know how to protect organizations from it. Okay, which is we don't talk about that a lot. Okay, stop sharing this. Oh no, I got to share again because I wanted to show y'all that Linux mind map. Yeah, let me show you the Linux mind map. I love mind maps. Mind maps really help me to understand stuff. Okay, and I'm a very visual person. Don't tell me to read a definition. I don't want to hear that crap. Don't tell me that. I need a metaphor. I need a picture, and I'll do it myself. Okay, because I've done it. Y'all know how I was with all these bits and subnetting and supernetting and CIDR and all that. Okay, I was tired of hearing about ones and zeros and octets, and I wanted to know what the hell that meant. And I found out. If you don't know what I found, you can go ahead and watch the video. So I explained it to you. But I'm not trying to hear all that. Okay, I want to know what the heck is going on, like what's really happening in here. Because we do a lot of abstraction in IT and cybersecurity. I mean, a lot of abstraction. Okay. And some folks need it broken down. Like me, I'm some folks. That's me. Okay. Okay, let me show you this mind map. This mind map is awesome. So shout out to whoever created this thing. All right, I gotta blow it up a little bit here. So here this is the middle of it, okay? And then it branches out to what the file system looks like, mounting file system types over here. And if all these three things right here, they go into more detail, okay? You see that? File system ownership. See, it's giving you the commands and all that right here. This is really good. And this is a picture of the file system in Linux. And there was another one on here that tells you exactly what's in those files. Processes, bins, jobs. Now, I don't need to know stuff to this degree for my policy, for the policy writing. I don't need to know it, but I know it 100% informs what the hell I'm doing. Okay. I mean, really understanding what this stuff is. It does help. It does help. Let me make this a little smaller. See where the hell I am. This is interesting over here. File permissions. You see that? Use the SUID, the SGID, sticky bit. I love that sticky bit. User group others right there. Microkernel. Now something else that I just, well, not just, but that I've been looking up is the kernel space and the user space. Okay, because what I've been trying to figure out is, like, I know we got the ethical hacking process and the hacking process and the kill chain and what's it, the MITRE attack framework, I think it's called. So what I was trying to figure out is, right, okay, just tell me, like, how does it all happen? Like, what happens first? Like, I see that you're outside of the house. Okay, you're doing reconnaissance. All right. So now once you've done that, okay, and you found some kind of way to have, to socially engineer information so that you can now get on the network. Okay, so now you're on the network. Now I'm thinking the next place, now what does that mean exactly? Okay, I'm on the network. So I'm thinking the next place I would want to get to is, I guess, the user space. And then eventually, if I can, if that's what my goal is, like the kernel space, right? Where all the system stuff happens, and I can then, Where is Linux FACL? You, Professor Black Ops, you said, unfortunately, the ethical hacker in today's arena is a here is what you do, not I did the research to know what they're doing. Oh, Kareem, oh my God, you are so right. Listen, I say that all the damn time. That's what it is. Not I did the research, but here is what you do, right? And don't ask them to explain, okay? Because they ain't gonna be able to tell you. Okay, so go. So this is mindomo.com. Okay, I'll put the link in the thing so y'all can see this. This is a really good mind map. Okay, it's just it has all kind of stuff here, audit stuff, logs. I love the pictures. Processes, boot configuration. Okay, it's just a really good mind map. Okay. So so y'all go look at that too. Let me close this. Okay. What'd you say, Kareem? Agile is used to roadmap what you need to do. What you need to do. The divide is still in knowing what to do to make it happen. So this is why, Kareem, I really want to be able to understand what this stuff is. Okay, because I know. It's almost like with the certifications, right? Or practice labs. Have you guys used practice labs before? You know, I love practice labs, right? Because especially if you're new, because it's paint by numbers. Okay, think of a paint by numbers Mona Lisa. Okay, I've seen it. Go if you Google paint by numbers Mona Lisa, beautiful. I mean, just like the real thing. But you take them damn numbers away and have that same person draw that thing again. They won't be able to do it. They won't be able to do that. What? They don't have that eye. They don't have they haven't done the practice. They don't have the artistic ability, the talent, the what. They won't be able to do it. If it's not paint by numbers, they can't do it. Okay. And Kareem, like you're saying, I feel like, you know, when I was doing practice labs, I was doing paint by numbers. Okay. I was not doing malware analysis. Okay, I was not. What else they had you do up in there? I was not, you know, doing password cracking. I was not putting security controls on my system. I wasn't doing none of that. I was painting. I was following directions. Is what I was doing. Okay, I was getting very good at following directions. But when it comes to the substance and being able to take the instructions away. Okay. You can make a cake if I give you instructions. You could do that. But let me take them instructions away, put you in the kitchen by yourself. Okay. Let me see how you do. Okay, making that cake. If you haven't practiced, if you haven't made mistakes and it come out terrible and you try it again, you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be out. And we got a whole bunch of lost folks from what I'm seeing. I just finished teaching a class with practice lab. I like practice labs, Professor Black Ops. But what I noticed for me is when I closed practice labs and I went to, I think it was test out. Test out ain't trying to give you no directions. They're like, this is what it is, now go. Okay, child, I sat at this screen for like 10 minutes. I didn't know what the hell to do. I did not know what to do. I didn't know what to do because I hadn't learned it. Okay, I had not learned it. I hadn't, So this is why this is why I get so worked up about what a bit is, and wanting to find out what that is and how it's actually working when I'm in Linux typing up commands. What the hell is going on, okay, behind the screen? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's why I do what I do, y'all. And that's why in February, when y'all come to the Blacks in Cyber and I'm talking about my topic there, stop thinking like a hacker and just start thinking. The mental models I'm going to be talking about in that thing are models that force you to think, okay? To not follow directions, not do what somebody else did, okay? And say, oh, I did that too. No. Just like I was talking about that 0 day and bug bounty. Why can't we do that? Can we do that? Can we find 0 days? Okay. I was reading something. Let me see if it's here. Somebody sent me something yesterday. Let me find it real quick, okay? It was in a Purple Team book that he was reading. Okay, here it is right here. Let me tell y'all what this says. Why are we talking about this? Meaning Purple Team. Okay, it says, because doing red and blue separately isn't working, at least not at the same pace as the threat. Red, absent ties with blue, achieves only their own objectives and has little opportunity to advance their capabilities against strongly prepared defenders. Blue, without red to test them, is flying blind. They're focused on the wrong threats and swamped by what should be matters of cyber hygiene popping up every day. Because our defense is reactive to the threat and not proactively informed by it, again, this is the why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about purple teaming? Because the adversary is scaling and automating faster than the defender. They're also thinking more creatively than the defender, okay? They're also skilling up faster than the defender, all right? Because we need a different and better way to test, harden, and respond to an evolving threat. We cannot be as stagnant as we have been, doing the same shit over and over and over again, nothing changing. Breaches happen, we talk about it. I come on YouTube, I talk about it, but I don't do nothing different, okay? Nothing different. We just sitting back waiting on AI. That's why Skynet gonna take us over, okay? Because we sitting back waiting on AI, all right? That's why Skynet gonna take over. All of us gonna be up in here with pipes up our asses in the matrix, because we don't want to think creatively. We don't really want to get out there, and do what needs to be done, because we so busy trying to think like the people that we say we're trying to protect against. This is exactly why. This is exactly why I'm talking about mental models, okay? We need to use the mental models that we have at our disposal, all right? Kareem, what you say? Blue, red, purple, or white team is only as strong as the skill sets the team members have. White team members, in theory, should be experts. I agree. It don't matter. We could be the gold team, child. Listen, the black team, whatever color, it really doesn't matter. But like you said, do you have the thinking, the critical, the evaluative, the evolved thinking and skill sets behind all that stuff? We ain't trying to be chasing behind hackers or malicious hackers forever, okay? We ain't trying to be doing all that. And they don't even pay us no mind anyway. Because from what I read, you know who they think like? You know who the hackers think like? You think they think like blue team? Do the hackers think like cybersecurity professionals? No, they don't. They don't. Do you know who they go after? Who they're looking to think like? The developers, the programmers. That's what they think like. Okay. I watched this guy, what is his name? I think it's Stock, STOK. He's German or something. But he's really cool. He's I don't know if he's bug bounty or just a hacker or whatever. But his channel is really good. He interviews a lot of different people, and all that. And he's very, very good. He really is. He's very passionate, first of all. I don't think he's a oh, he might be a bug bounty person. I know he has a lot of bug bounty people on his channel that he interviews. But that's the kind of stuff that they say. Like that's what they what they're thinking is, okay, what would the developer do next? You know, from here, how would the developer have coded this in order to get, how can I either use what they've already done to get to where I want to get to, or how can I bypass that and use something else. And I also was reading how, and they're not out there, just making up brand new stuff. They're using what's already on the computer, what Microsoft has already made. Okay, they got so many PowerShell tools. Okay, hacking and cracking too. It makes no sense at all. I mean, I was looking at it last night. PowerShell, this, that, and every other thing. They're already using what's there. I think it's called living off the land. They live off the land. It's like somebody coming in your house, picking up your boot and knocking you upside your head with it. They ain't got to bring nothing. Okay, they just use whatever's in your living room, in your kitchen. Okay. They're living off the land, Yeah. What are we going to do, Professor Kareem? What is your solution? How can we, as security professionals, get ahead of the game? I feel like we're in a rut. It's like a rut. And all these certification people, these people creating certs and all that, some of them need to be ashamed of themselves. They really do. They can be ashamed. I don't know how they can sleep at night. So when I was in government, all the time we had to address diploma mills. Okay, these people out there creating content just to be able to sell it, and get money. It's a business. It's a business. Okay, that's what it was. It's a business. It's not about education. It's not about learning. It's not about getting skilled people out there. It's about getting paid. Okay, it's about getting paid. We had to deal with diploma mills. We had to deal in my policy office with certification mills, certificate mills. That's what we called them, right? So they're just businesses out there especially looking to get money from the government. Okay, because they know that they feel like that money, that's like a never-ending treasure chest when you can get a contract with the government. Okay, so they will. I mean, some of them are just, I don't know, but I would love to know. And one of the things that I want to address and talk about is how can we, as security professionals, actually do security work and stop running behind criminals, claiming that they're going to help us, make us do our jobs better. When is that going to happen? When? Can somebody say when? Okay. I mean, I wrote this thing on LinkedIn. I talked about the 10, what did I call it? The 10 top defender. What the hell would I call that, y'all? See, now I'm having to go to LinkedIn to find out what the hell I said. Where else did I put it? I think I put it on my Patreon. Hold on. We got to go over this. We have to. Because one of the things I feel like is that we don't have the confidence, the way that red teamers and pen testers do, and we don't get as excited about security. We get, I told y'all in the other, if I had a penis, I would get a hard on every time I did a damn pen test. Okay, that's how it. I mean, we get palpitations and it's just, we break into something. But then when we secure something, it's like, just Google it. I mean, go to the STIGs, find out what you got to do there. Like, it's not exciting. It's boring. Who wants to secure something, Realize that you need to research, meaning when I started scripts, languages were normal. Now the people with certs can tell you what is wrong, but can't do nothing about it. Kareem, you're preaching, Kareem. We're going to have to take up a collection plate for Kareem, okay? Because you're speaking nothing but truth. I'm telling you. Let me find this on my Patreon real quick, y'all. Published. Interpreting log files. Here we go. 8 tips for champion defenders and threat hunters. Champion defenders and threat hunters. I think Microsoft was complicit in the SolarWinds breach. Microsoft recommended SolarWinds to their customers. And Professor Black Ops, I went to FedRAMP the other day to look for SolarWinds. I still don't understand how they were able to infiltrate the government like that without being on that list. I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't get that. Did you do a video about that? I thought you said you were going to do something like that. But let me tell y'all these tips right here, okay, for a champion defender, okay? So first of all, if we're going to be good defenders, champion defenders, we got to take ownership, okay? If I'm in an organization, let me use myself. If I'm in an organization, I don't know what the hell they do. I don't know what the mission is. I don't know jack, but how much I make, what time I got to be to work, and where the lunchroom at. Okay, if that's all I know, that I can just hang it up right then and there. I mean, I'm gonna do what you tell me to do. But as far as being a defender, defending what? I don't even know what I'm defending. I could be working for the KKK. All right, I don't know. I don't know what the damn mission is. You see what I'm saying? If we don't even have ownership of what the hell we're doing, like, I'm very passionate about what I do. I love what I do and who I do it for, okay? I really do. It's like your own family. You're very passionate. The house you live in right now, whether you're living with, blood relatives or not, I'm almost certain you're very passionate about being able to keep whatever is in there, human and non-human, safe. All your valuables and assets and all that, you invested in that. Okay, you're going to do what needs to be done to make sure that stuff stays safe and secure. If you don't feel like that about your job, then you're not going to be a champion anything. Okay, I don't care how much you're making, what your title is. If you don't know any of that stuff and you have no sense of ownership of the mission, okay, then I'm just telling you, hang it up right now. That's number one. Number two, a champion defender gives no time for you to react, okay? Suffocating. Think about basketball players who are really good defenders. They are all up on the other person, suffocating. You can't do nothing. Nowhere. You don't want this person defending you, okay? Because you ain't gonna get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft lobbyists told my boss, who the hell do They say, who the hell you think you are? Huh? I told my agency Azure sucked and violated FedRAMP. and this is what happens, right? This is, and I'm suspicious. It's other people need to be too. Like, how you all up in my office, you in my bathroom, just everywhere, and not certified, nothing. Like, where is you on FedRAMP? That's what I'm wondering. Who do I write about that? Okay, suffocating. Give no time. A champion defender gives no time for the other side to react. You got to be patient, though. You see how in the SolarWinds, I wasn't there, but I firmly believe these people, before they came up with anything, sat down and talked about what the hell they wanted to do, who they wanted to do it to, what scope, what kind of impact they wanted it to have. All of them plans. I mean, it was like D-Day planning. Okay. I feel like that's what happened. They didn't get up in there and just start doing some shit, hoping and praying it would work. Okay. Patience. That's what I read. They had to have been very, very patient. Okay. Not just with the planning, but also with the execution. Just patience. Okay. Hold your horses. Wait up. Okay. Champion defenders are the same way. You're patient. Okay. They got it coming, but you got to be patient. All right. When you're threat hunting, same thing. Anticipate champion defenders. Think about basketball, football, soccer, whatever sport you watch. Okay. Anticipating their next move. Remember I said how what is his name? The hockey player. What was the famous hockey player? He won like 10 of them hockey awards. I forget his name, but he's attributed with saying, when somebody asked him why he's so good, he said, I go to where the puck is going to be. That's why I'm so good. He didn't say I play like the other team. I think like the other team. No. He said, I go to where the puck is going to be. Not where it is, where it's going to be. Okay. Champion defenders anticipate. You got to know a certain, that's him. Thank you, my story. Thank you, Kareem. Wayne Gretzky. That's the one. They anticipate. Okay. They anticipate what you expect. Okay. Anticipate what you expect. That's where we need to be. Okay. And we ain't going to get there painting by numbers. We're not going to get there like that. Okay. We're not going to get there thinking like a hacker. No. You're not going to do that. That's not the way it's going to work. Okay. Now that that's the only way you feel you need to think. Okay. Now there's, of course, we need to know, like, what is that thing called? TTPs, I believe, techniques, tactics, and personnel, or whatever the hell the P is for. Of course, we got to know that stuff. Okay. But that's not the only way. We have a whole spectrum of mental models to use. Okay. Nation state is the top of the game. They're on a 10-year plan, not quarters for stock market money. Yeah, top of the game. We can be there, and we can exceed that. Okay, we can absolutely exceed that. Now, I will say, but even with this, okay, we have a lot more constraints, because it's not like APT is going, in the office and they got all these policies and procedures and personalities and rules and regulations and standards and frameworks they got to follow, it paperwork. I don't believe that they have all those constraints like we do. However, I really do believe if we are able to demonstrate effectiveness, okay, we can actually impact a lot of those things, okay, that may be in the way of real safety and security, for the organization, for the people in the organization, for the intellectual property, the money they're making, all that stuff. Okay. Money is not infinite. It sure isn't. Defend with your heart. That's another one of the things. Defenders are, they really do give absolutely everything. They give everything to what they're doing. You ain't anybody trying to die. I try to die for Microsoft. Okay. No. That's not what we're talking about. However, but it's like the first one, right? Really investing in whatever the mission of the organization is. Okay. Yeah, whatever the mission of the organization is, if you buy into it, you invest. It's almost like, think about political. You see how these people act for their political party? I mean, they put their heart. The mind almost goes out the door. Okay. There's only room for heart and feelings and emotion and belong, and all that stuff. Look, we ain't trying to be radical now. I ain't saying all that, storming federal buildings and shit. I ain't talking about all that. However, you know, really putting, you know, putting your heart into defending, period. Okay. If that's what we are, if that's what we do. Impose yourself. Great defenders, you got to make people feel your presence. Okay. Folks need to be nervous. They need to be nervous. If they know, okay, we're looking at this organization, but we know that this blue team is there. It's almost like what's that? SEAL Team 6. SEAL Team 6 is there. Okay, the cybersecurity version. Okay, I'm nervous. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if we want to get on that network. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. They feel your presence when you go to these all of these conferences, these CTF hacking conferences and all that. When your blue team, purple team, white team, whatever the hell team, whatever color, when the security team shows up, okay, they're not gonna want to dance. They're not gonna want to dance, not with you, okay, because they know better, right? They know better. A lot of larger companies tell me the STIGs are too hard to implement. So sad. Don't forget the laptops and hard drives they stole. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. And then went home with their mamas, some of them. Listen, that's a whole nother subject. Kareem, don't get me started up in here. Okay, so they impose themselves, they intimidate attackers, okay? And the last one is great defenders. Prevent attackers from using their strengths. Okay, you're in here. You're in the network. You're really, really good. You're great at privilege escalation, but not here. You're not. Okay, not over here. And the thing is, right, is that our job as defenders is not to stop cyber attacks. Okay, that sounds weird. I know that's not the job. Our job is to first find out the risk appetite of the organization. Okay, Amazon, what is your risk? What are you willing? What can you tolerate? Okay, when it comes to your digital property, when it comes to your network, what can you tolerate? Okay, what is your threshold of pain? All right. So what we do is, you know, things happen, people get through, hurricanes come, tornadoes, you know, because it's not just people. It's not just people. Okay, you got events, other kinds of events that can happen to take down a network, right? What can they tolerate? Okay, and our job is to help them stay within that threshold. All right, and if we can't, if for some reason something gets beyond that, how fast can we help them recover? What's your resilience game like? Okay, what that resilience do? You know, what is that that recovery team? What the hell you call that recovery team over there? How they working? You know what I mean? Because we can't, okay, we didn't stop this, but then it's people sitting around and ain't, you know, when the hell is stuff gonna be back up? You know, this is like, y'all know those two airlines. One of them was Ryanair. I believe it was Ryanair, and the other one, I forget the name of the other one. But both of them, I think it was in the same year, or like a couple years after each other. But they had like one of them landed so that like they landed the wrong way. Okay. And you know, some people got hurt. I don't think anybody died, but you know, people got hurt, right? And another one had another issue like that on the runway. Well, the one, I think it was Ryan. I'll have to look it up though. One of them handled it so that when that happened, these people, I mean, right away, they were on it. You know, they were getting people medical help. They were getting them hotels. They were paying for their families to come, you know, and get them. They were making sure their I mean, they did everything. There was an accident. it would have been nice if they could have prevented it, but they didn't. But the recovery, the way they responded to this thing. Now, who in the world, their sales went up after that? After that, who in the world, what airline have an accident and sales go up after that? The response was so amazing, okay, that they just felt taken care of. Like, these people, we understand that you cannot prevent everything, but when something happens, the response was on point. Now, the other airline did not do that. I mean, people were in the plane for hours, didn't know what was going on. Nobody was sharing information. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. And it reflected in their balance sheets, okay? That response. See what that response do, okay? That's what I'm talking about. So you prevent them from using their strengths, but if you can't do that, okay, if they just get through for whatever reason, your response, okay, because your response is still, your job is still to help the organization reach its mission, okay, and to get any roadblocks that might be in the way, okay. Yeah, so these are the things, and I also put that on my LinkedIn, okay. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see them there as well. But I feel like we need to be more of a team, and not just the people who put the security controls, on the information system and the software and hardware and all that. Me as a policy person, I'm part of the team. Can I be on the team? Can I be on the team? Huh? Can I play coach? Those of us who are not directly, involved in the technical, and even users in the organization. Right now, one of the main problems, and I am a user, and when I worked at OPM, listen, I already told y'all that IT security training was a nuisance. Okay, all I wanted was the answer so I can get back to work. Nobody cared about that shit over there. It's like, okay, we got a cybersecurity office. They take care of that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay, I ain't gonna do that. That's not my job. That's the attitude. That is the attitude. That's like the people in your house. The people in your house, okay? Say, that's your job. What I gotta lock the door for? I'm not here to lock. What I gotta close my window for? Mm-hmm. Why I gotta know this person coming in the house? You see what I'm saying? That don't make no sense, does it? Can you imagine? Your kids and your spouse and your girlfriend and your cousin, your mother, whoever you're living with. Just like, it ain't my job to lock the door. I wasn't hired for that. Don't they pay me to do that? Yeah. Users have they have no sense of ownership either. That ain't my job. It's like, so we got to change that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. But I know we can do it. We can do it. All right. Is that all I got for y'all today? Y'all be sure to go to that 0-day website. It's very interesting. I'm telling you, they're coming up with new 0 days like every day. You'll just remember this: the technical group has to take the magic beans and Bravo Sierra, you write up and grow something. Bravo Sierra. Kareem, are you in the Navy or something? Because they say that at my job. Write up and grow something. Yeah, so y'all go look at that website. Maybe, let me see. What the hell I gotta do? I said I was gonna put that website in the thing. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it in the that and the Linux mind map. I'm gonna put in the description so y'all can see that. Okay. And is that it? Yeah. So right now I'm working with someone on his CISA. He's gonna be taking his CISA in about a month. So if you want to join us on our study sessions, and I'm posting like a whole bunch of stuff, right, to help with the specific areas of the CISA. A nice way of saying BS, okay. Very nice. Bravo, Sierra. I like that. Kareem, what was I saying? You know, losing my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So if y'all want to join us, right, go to, I think it's in, I don't know, child, it's somewhere. Oh, somewhere on my page. If y'all want to join us, you can just join my Patreon. It's only $5, I think. Is that how much it is? I believe it's $5. But there's a lot of sister stuff on there, Security Plus, career mentoring, all that stuff. Okay. And we met tonight over Zoom. We're going to meet again next month to go over some stuff. So CISA, CAP, like whatever it is you want to study for, okay, we can accommodate. All right. Y'all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate all of you. And Professor Black Ops, Kareem, my story, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And so y'all have a good night, okay? And I will be back soon to opine and pontificate about various things, okay? All right, good night, y'all.